y'all. Yes, indeed. Welcome to UDR Productions. Please like, subscribe, and share. It doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe, so we can keep bringing you guys all this good content from prayer to streets. UDR Productions. Let's go and let's get it. Yes, indeed. How y'all guys doing out there? You are looking at the UDR Productions Go Love team. I'm going to introduce Mrs. Chocolate right here. And then, there you go. Let's get this show on and rolling. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Chocolate. This is my guest, Nicole. Nicole is going to be talking about her life today, from beginning until where she is now. So, let's get it started. So, Miss Nicole.
Hi, Miss Chocolate.
How are you?
I'm good. Better.
Okay, that sounds better. So, tell me a little bit about your life. Tell me about the little girl, Nicole.
That's the hard part.
Why is it so hard?
Because I got unfinished business from back then.
Okay, so let's try the healing process now.
Okay, first I want to say, as a little kid, I was super ecstatic to have the grandparents that I had. They, amazing. I couldn't ask for nothing better. I wouldn't have looked for nothing more. They was the ultimate. I am their daughter's firstborn, which is their first grandchild.
Okay.
To my little bit of acknowledgement, then I was happy at the beginning, a little bit. I do remember some of my 2-year-old getting a little older. By 3, I was still good. I didn't know the birth mother had a pregnancy where another one was coming. But I also didn't know she had a husband that nobody didn't meet. Okay, so
oh, wow.
I found out I have a stepfather at 3.5 years old with my grandfather, her dad. And for the life of me, I don't know where this man came from. Knew nothing about him, never seen him. To keep it undercover that one of my sisters is his also. Okay. But I know that's not true because I used to go with her to her dad's house. When they conceived of her, I was hanging out with them. Okay. It was still good. He was like another dad, the second baby dad. He was like another dad. I loved him. Okay. I'm not going to say his name, he's deceased, but he was an awesome dude. Okay. It got tight when the stepfather moved in. Okay.
Why did it get tight? Take your time.
Again, nobody knows this man. Nobody don't know his background. To me, she didn't know him enough to trust him with me alone. Okay. And that's when things went down.
And how old were you when things went down?
I was 3.5. Because my first sister was born in 75. October. So I was turning 4 that December. Okay. I always remember her going out, but him calling my name.
Like, why would he call your name?
That's what I was trying to figure. I thought, you know, being a cool new dad, you know, I get to sit up and look at TV a little bit more. It wasn't like that.
Take your time. It's okay. I know it's painful.
He called me in there for his needs. He laid me back on her bed because I was sitting on the foot of the bed. And he said, come sit on the bed. So I did. And during that time, he would go up my gown. And I wore underwears back then in the bed. I guess a lot of the 70s babies, you had to go to bed with your underwears and your nightgown on and stuff, and he took them off. I didn't understand what was happening because it never happened. I was raised in the house with my granddad, and my granddaddy never fully undressed in front of me. It was always making sure my grandma got me, like, Minnie, come get me, so I could take a bath, because I always played with him in the bath before I got ready for bed. And he'll always have on clothes. I said, why granddaddy wear clothes to the top? He ain't supposed to. But I didn't, that wasn't the feeling I was getting. She'd get up with her girlfriends on a Friday, Saturday night. Everybody smoking their weed, having their drinks. I'm home with a pervert, not knowing. So every weekend he had fun. One particular night I remember, she came home the first night, and he had his private wiping the album. I couldn't fit it. Being 3.5 years old, and you experimenting all this stuff around you, you kind of start getting confused because you're like, this never happened before. Why is it happening now? And her being a mom, I'm supposed to be, you supposed to be my shield. I shouldn't have to worry. You should know what's wrong with your kid.
Exactly.
So she came home that night, and he kind of like rushed me up and got me out her room. But it was too late to get me back in my room. So she's asking, why is Nicole up? Oh, she was just up trying to say I had to use the bathroom or something, but he was wiping his thing on the album. So she said, why are you wiping on the album? Oh, I'm just cleaning it. So I'm still kind of dazed because, just like I said, this didn't happen around me. This didn't happen in my household. At the time when my grandparents with me and her was living, this did not go down. So you didn't hear too much of, if somebody touched you here and there, you tell. I couldn't tell because of the things he would say, like, if you tell your grandfather going to go away forever. I loved my grandfather beyond God, and I didn't even know who God was at the time. If you tell your dad, you're never going to see your dad again. And he always threatened me that he didn't want my dad in the picture anyway. So she called me she took me back in my room to check on my sister. And she said, what happened? And it's like, you want to tell, but you're so afraid because you just heard what you heard. Like, you're going to lose the ones you love. And so you're sitting there as this little kid like, what do I do? Do I believe him or tell her? So I said nothing. It went on quite a few years off and on. Every time he left, I was at peace. When he came back, it's a point I didn't even want to wash up at night. I wouldn't wash up. I'll change underwears, but I won't wash up because I said, if you come to me and I don't smell good, you don't want me.
So what exactly did he do? Just fondle you?
He fondled, then he took his thing and like rubbed it between me. He told me, if you open your eyes, you like it. If you close your eyes, you really like it. I wasn't nowhere developed. I had nothing. So basically, you just playing with a flat board. And this was his thing. He'd rub it with his hand, caress the chest, that wasn't nothing there. But whenever she come,
like nothing happened.
Hi, how you doing? Everything good. Don't worry, she's straight. But not knowing that I'm hearing your dad going to go away forever if you tell him what's going on. Oh, I love you, so this is how we do it. Tell your grandfather, and he's going to go away too, forever. We both want to get in trouble. So I'm thinking, what happening to me? I'm going to get in trouble. So I can't tell because I don't want to get in trouble. But as family come over for certain gatherings, I'm not around them like I used to, like run up to the favorite uncles and cousins and hug them. I'm with my grandfather and I don't want nobody else. Or I just want to be by myself way in the corner. I don't want to be seen.
So nobody noticed your change?
My grandma. Grandma realized something wasn't right. I think I was about 4, going on 5, somewhere in there. And she was asking her daughter, like, what's wrong with Nikki? Nothing. What you mean? She's distanced now. She was fun-loving. This baby been distancing herself from people. No, you're bugging out, Mimi. You're bugging out. This is how she speaks to my grandmother. You're bugging out. No. There's nothing wrong with her. Only until you go out and he called my name again. One episode, she just gave birth to my brother in '79. I was ecstatic. It was like the happiest, it's like God gave me my own toy for life. And they got into it because we was living in a 1-bedroom in Brooklyn, New York. And they had a fight. I don't know what's going on, but she had our brother with her. And out of all he did to me, and it hurt. I mean, if you're looking at a kid from 3.5 off and on until like 13, 14 years old, getting molested by the same dude. I mean, after a while, I'm sorry, but the bitch gonna have all kind of issues. Trust issues is one of my ones. I don't really trust nothing nobody say. I hear it, but I don't trust it. But when he threatened to bash his son's head, a newborn, in the wall if I didn't get out my bed and come to him. And I did. I did what I had to do to save my little brother. And this is his dad. This is his twin. And when I got him, I held him on top of me. Like, I held this baby on top of me. And I just begged him, please just leave me alone. He was like, move the baby, move. No, just leave me alone. Come to find out, Deborah left to call my grandfather.
And who was Deborah?
That's the devil I came out of. That's Satan. That's two-faced. I don't care. Oh my God, whatever happened to you, I just can't change it because I got to move on.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
Okay, that's Deborah. My grandfather came and still nobody knew the secret.
Okay.
Couldn't tell the secret. But what they didn't know is, a week prior to that, my cousin raped me.
Oh, wow.
In the same bedroom, in a bunk bed, under my sisters are under me. So for a whole week, matter of fact, let's not count the first day. But from that next day and on, even with threats coming to him from other family members, do not touch them girls the way they shouldn't be touched.
Why would they threaten him? Was he touching other females?
I didn't know.
Little kids?
I didn't know where that came from. I didn't know, but for some reason, I guess it triggered something. Because by the time my sisters would sleep, because I always made sure they ate all their dinner, I made sure they got ready for bed. He was just basically there to make sure we was good to get up for school, pick us up from school till she came home from the hospital. No, old boy was in my bunk bed. Old boy was physically having sex with me. And I was 7.
Wow. And they still didn't know what was going on.
Grandma's like, something ain't right, Debbie. Something ain't right. Oh, you're giving her too much attention. You're giving her too much attention. Nah, something ain't right. So other people started talking to my grandma after they seen us all together, and they wondering, why Nikki way over there and all her cousins are way over here with her uncles and stuff? Because they in the mix of it. So to keep me safe from them, I had to put me in a corner. I started blacking out to where I went into my own little kid world where everything was perfect. Basically just me, my grandparents, and my brother. Once I had a whole vision of them, I made them my comfort zone. Deborah decided she wanted her kids to go to Alabama to their dad. Okay, she took me out of school for me to do it. I did it. I'm thinking I had a two-way ticket. This chick sent me to my abuser. Told him I had a medical problem. If I got sick, take me to the hospital. Ready to have him enroll me in school. Living with him and another woman. But did that stop my pedophile? No. And I think the girlfriend knew something wasn't right.
And nobody said nothing.
She helped me undercover. Because I've been down there for like 2.5 months. And I was ready to come home. It was to the point I knew he wouldn't help me. So I couldn't do it with him home. So I went to the girlfriend. And I said, can you help me call my dad? Because I'm ready to go home. And I think she was ready for me to go to because it just, things in the house, you could feel something is off when we came into view with each other. I spoke to my dad, I came home. Me and her got into a fight because she was on crack. I didn't even know until I came back from Alabama.
Who was on crack?
Deborah.
Okay.
Not my grandma. Okay. My grandma ain't never, ever in her life did any drugs. She was a cocktail drinker on her weekends after work. I will put it out there. My daddy and my granddaddy was too. Ain't none of us ever did crack cocaine. I was a pothead. Hell, it might still label me one. I mean, bitch got problems out here. I'm serious. And I had to walk with this. I fought a lot as a kid. I fought because it made me feel good. I couldn't fight at home. Everybody was too big to me. At school, I could fight. See what I'm saying? They didn't know what I was dealing with at home. They didn't know that the birth mother don't give a shit about me. Only thing she worried about is how much money my dad could give her so she could take care of her man and her other kids. It ain't had nothing to do with me.
Did you ever wonder why your mother felt that way towards you?
I think I learned from a few people it's jealousy. Maybe
what?
Because she had me at a very early age. And at the time, everybody's like, oh my God, Debbie's pregnant. Oh my God, Deborah's pregnant. Oh my God, you're getting big. And then once I fell out of her, even though I came out of her all fucked up and everything, like the legs had to be refixed, the asthma was taking me down. I guess the tension stopped.
Hold your story right there. We'll be back with part 2.
She was jealous. It took me to this age to find out she'd been jealous.
Okay, so I hear you talking about this amazing woman that you call your grandmother.
Oh,
tell me a little bit about your grandmother and, well, hold up, before we even get to that, whatever happened to your pedophiles? Your cousin and your stepfather.
The pedophile stepfather, he came up to visit. I was already married. I was 18, 19. I got married young. I got married at 18, yeah. I saw him for the last time. He came to my grandma's house. Matter of fact, my sister, the first one, and the younger brother took him to my apartment. My ex-husband then was the husband, didn't know that you just let your wife pedophile into her home. So when I called him to figure out, like, yo, what the heck you don't want to get to grandma's house? Like, we're only 20 minutes away. You should have been here. Oh, your sister's dad is here. What you mean sister's dad? One is dead. What are you talking about? My dad would never come up there. Yeah, come here first. No, your brother's father. I said, huh? He said, yeah, they here. I said, remember that story I told you when I was 16 and we made it official? He said, yeah. I said, well, that's the man that did all that to me. Whatever he said that, I wanted away. I said, whatever he walked on, I want him out. Get him out my house. That man is the one that wrecked your wife's brain. Like, this is why I feel I have personalities. Sometimes I'm Dawn, sometimes I'm the cold. But then there's a couple of bitches in there when on day. Okay, so I tried to stay away from a lot of people out here, but I saw him that last time. He tried to hug me. Like, I forgot. I had a flashback. I couldn't even move. I was in my grandmother's house standing in front of everybody like. My ex-husband, God bless the idiot at the time, he jumped right in front of me, made sure he didn't touch me. He got me home. This man went back to Alabama to his job as a cook. God is so good. God is so good. Let me tell people how good God is. Because it took me a few decades of my life to really comprehend what God powers is really made of. When I said I didn't want to ever see this man again, when I said I didn't want no visions of him in my dreams again, God sent that man back to Alabama where he dropped dead right there on his job. First night back. I didn't like the look on my sibling's face. I didn't like the pain in my little brother's eyes because that's his only son and that's the baby of 4 kids. But at the end, I was inside happy. Happy he couldn't do it again. Happy I ain't got to worry about seeing him again. Happy that if I had nieces and nephews down the road, I ain't got to worry about him touching them. He ain't got to touch somebody else's kids and make them a victim and put them through all of this.
Do you think that you was his only victim?
At that time, yeah. Because it was just too frequent. It's not like he had someplace else to go and there was another kid. The girlfriend, she only had boys. So he had a thing for the girls. He wouldn't touch my sister because she had his last name instead of her real dad's last name.
Okay.
So to him, that's his. Now, he tried to have my name changed. Okay? He wanted me to be one of them. I'm sorry, I'm a Jones. I'm going to always be a Jones. I could get married out here 10, 20,000 times, honey. At the end of the day, my veins run Jones. That's why I got my grandparents and my daddy tattooed on me. I am a Jones. I got strong. They gave me the skin I got. My grandmama, I told my grandmama what happened to me at 14. Because NYPD was ready to lock me up in juvie for her daughter attacking me. And they told me if I didn't go to the 73rd precinct the next day and talk to a NYPD counselor, I was going to get locked up that night. They made the birth mother go to that wicked whore. Yeah, I got so many names for her, it's not even... God forgive me, at least I'm not cursing her in front of her.
But why do you feel that way towards her? Because did you ever tell her?
She denied it. What I did was I told the cop. The cop told her. She called my grandmother and called me every whore in the book. Every bitch under the sky.
So is this when you developed a hatred towards her?
That's when the hatred became real.
Okay.
First, I was confused how to feel about her. I said, because I don't think she really understands what's going on. But by the time I'm 14, 15 years old and I'm telling somebody else what's going on with me and what's been happening, and then they bring it to you and you tell my grandma I'm a whore? I'm a whore? Your firstborn. The one that looked at you with not but love in her eyes. This happened to me at 3.5 and you call me a whore? My grandma helped me and she said, I know you're not lying because I seen the difference in you from a kid to now. I know something happened. I know he had parts of it. She said, I had a feeling about your cousin because he's really not your cousin, but she trusts you with the wrong men. I said, but I don't understand. She came back that night. I was everything in the book. My enemy, she was inviting to fight me. Like they could have jumped me. She was telling them all of this. Come snatch her up. Come do this. So my fight gear was up higher. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. You're not going to stand there and let a chick beat you up because then that's your name and your reputation. So what I did was, y'all want to fight? Let's rumble. We can do this however y'all want. My grandmama let me fight. My grandmama had to step up to these girls and say, you're not jumping my grandbaby. One-on-one. That's how we do it. One-on-one. But with her, it was like, oh, let them all jump on her. Let them all beat her up. My cousin, well, supposed to be my cousin, he died. He died of AIDS. So when I heard of AIDS, I ain't really had a good meaning of it. I I got scared when I learned about it. Because I'm like, are you serious? But by this time, I'm thinking, okay, I was 7.5 then, or 8. I'm 15, 16 now. I just kept getting tested. I begged my grandma, like, help me get tested, because I don't know. I don't want to die of this. I didn't do nothing to deserve this. So kept getting me tested. By the grace of God again, that never touched me. So by the time I hit 20, my ex-husband said, you know, you got to tell your grandfather and your dad what's really happening to you. They got to know. And I was petrified, especially my grandfather. Like, you can't go to him and say, your granddaughter Nicole been through this, and he does not flip out. That does not. I'm the first. I'm spoiled rotten thanks to him. So I told my granddaddy on my block I grew up on. I stood there and I told them. And how I told them, I just never seen my granddaddy cry. Until today, it still hurt. Because I actually had to stand there and see my granddaddy out go from white to red with tears. And he's like, are you serious? I said, I've been through this with Deborah. She denies it. Grandma, no. But we couldn't tell you because we was afraid how you will react. I said, but now that I'm older and I'm trying to get it together with this, I said, it's time for you to know. So my granddad didn't really take it too well, but he took it to say, my baby's still here. I done tried to commit suicide. Oh my God, I'm shocked I'm still here. About 10 times, maybe more. Pill bottles. I tried to jump in the train track in the New York City subway, Southern Avenue and Rutland Road. God pulled me back. I cursed at him. Because I said, you shouldn't have saved me. You don't know what I live with. I have a crack addict mother. My dad was barely in the picture because he didn't want to deal with her. And I'm a child that has been molested and raped by 2 different people that is connected to this family. And you just saved my life? Are you serious? I couldn't stand looking at the man. Once I got on the train, I was so angry. But then something hit me and I said, well, I had to picture my grandparents, like, how would they feel if they had to identify me like this? So I had to suck that up. I tried. I kept trying, though. I tried with a handful of aspirins, any kind of pills. If it was a shootout, everybody running this way, I'm going to it. If it was a knife fight, I'm running into it. I'm trying anyway to say, let me go. I'm tired of dealing with the pain, the suffering, the remembrance. My sisters, one being a baby and the other one wasn't even here yet. I have been called so many whores, disgusted bitches, trash. But what they don't realize is the one I thought was our cousin, if I didn't let him touch me, he was going to touch one of them. And I couldn't let my sisters have that problem. So I had to suck it up and told him, I'll play with you. Just so my sisters don't get touched. And my sister was only 5 and 6 at the time. I know what I went through at that age already. So they don't talk to me at all. I don't socialize with none of them. I left them all alone.
What about your mother?
I don't fuck with her. Sorry.
Why?
I can't. Because to her, she told me on my face after she got me stranded in Georgia. I asked her, was I a mistake or something? It wasn't even an argument. It was just a question. And she came out of nowhere and just started yelling, yeah. Yeah, I do not know why I had you. Yeah, you are a fucking mistake.
So, you've been through a lot. One particular thing that actually touched me about your story is when you told me that your mother told you to come to Georgia.
Oh yeah, she got me to come to Georgia. Let's make this work. My grandma already passed away.
Hold that story. Tell me a little bit about Miss Minnie Jones.
Oh man, Minnie Jones. That was my superstar.
Look at that smile.
This lady, my heart has never felt so loved and wanted. When my spirits are at the floor, she raises it. When I feel like crap, she knows it. She flip it. Christmas, birthdays, the summer period. She was like the host of the party. Like, everything got to be perfect. The best cook. Everybody's coming for her food and on holiday after. Like, New York, that was her wonder spot. Like, they be like, Miss Joe's cook? Oh, hell yeah. My grandfather owned his own grocery store on the block. So all our meat was coming in nice and fresh. So grandma cooking all this fresh stuff for us. With her, I ate my first crab. The one you gotta crack open at 2 years old. She made all my chocolate cakes. One time I had got an ice cream cake. Me and my granddaddy was so selfish with the people that came to my party that we gave them little pieces so me and him could keep them. Grandma cursed him out. She said, Nick, you supposed to learn this shit. He said, hell no, this damn thing. We gonna eat. And he got me with my Michael Jackson. I was in love with the Jackson 5, so grandma made sure everything I had was Jackson 5. Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. The high chair, the little table tray, the cup, the pillow, wherever came out with Michael Jackson. Nicole had it. I dressed up, she dressed me up like Shirley Temple. I was the little black Shirley Temple of Howard Avenue. I had my hair curled, the same little coats and dress that little girl wore in there. I had the same thing. Grandma got me with the Easter stars because her and granddaddy was Masons and Masonettes. I learned my cooking from her. I learned the skin I got. People say, oh my God, you got soft skin. Like, that's my grandma. That's grandma. Grandma would drive a school bus. She drove for the border event in New York, a special ed. That lady would drink. On the weekends, the block all them bad damn kids up, because believe me, she got me, I followed in her footsteps. I took the job she had. So she was proud to hear me on the radio say, good morning, Grandma. And then I said good morning to everybody else down the line. They were like, well, you can't be doing that. My grandma flipped on them and said, if everybody else that Caucasian can do it, my baby can talk into it. Y'all understand. She taught me how to cook. She taught me how to love. She told me there's nothing wrong with it. She said, you just need time. I don't think nobody got grandma like mine. That's like my black beauty queen. Granddaddy now. I had to keep him in line. But I would never have a relationship with their daughter. I would never have a relationship with their other grandkids. I would never see their great-grandkids that they have. My grandma's anniversary is coming up this year again for December. So my birthday, Christmas, and the day of her service is all back to back again. As I do, I spend it alone. But I just want to let somebody know out there, I know it's hard to have a parent that don't back you up. I know it's hard when you feel like you are doing your best to rise and they keep cutting your legs off. Don't give up. You have that one special person. You have that one special person that loves you. Hold on to them. Because at the end of the day, that's all you got. Don't worry about the ones that hating on you. I've been through that. Don't worry about that. As you see me, girlfriend ain't gonna never look her age. I'm a beautiful 48-year-old. Be 49 this year, baby. Can't nobody take this shine in this Boston, because my grandmama made sure as I walk these streets, you walk who you are, be who you are, be real with yourself, and that way everybody else can see it too. So what happened in the past, it does not reflect my future. I'm better than that. So I thank y'all for coming and giving me y'all time.
I thank you too. Give me a hug,
girl. It's gonna be all right. You got it.
Yes, indeed, y'all. Yes, indeed. Welcome to UDR Productions. Please like, subscribe, and share. It doesn't cost you nothing to subscribe, so we can keep bringing you guys all this good content from prayer to streets. UDR Productions. Let's go and let's get it.